does it sort of shake you guys up or make you think a little bit differently or start to approach things a little bit differently when a guy like Mike, who's so integral to everything that you do, is not in the lineup anymore?
Not gonna lie, I was really like, you get consumed in the game. It works one of two ways because sometimes it happens. If it happens early, you notice it, but like it was so late in the game that it was kind of for me. I speak for myself, but like for me, it was like, all right, like we got to figure out, I'm being the point, whatever. But then there are times where it's like, I've had it for 3 possessions. Joe's had it, but yeah, we look for that. We look for Mike, to kind of. Mike has just a way of being out there and kind of calling stuff, seeing things, and we definitely missed that presence on the offensive and the offensive mind that he has. So that was definitely one thing we definitely missed going down the stretch, just to kind of settle us down in certain instances. But it also raised our awareness, myself and Joe and Boyan, particularly the three ball handlers, just how we go about what we do on offense, how we get into it. You don't necessarily run the same actions because we have a guy like Mike out. But I think, I think he's fine, but I think the biggest thing is just, trying to find ways. We always say next man up, but being able to think, think even more when a guy like that is out.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
Don, you guys set another new franchise record for threes made tonight with 26 total. What was working so well for you in terms of just finding open looks?
They kind of play. They play defense. Kind of like helter skelter, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that like they use their length and their activity to their advantage. And it's kind of they're just out there, trying to get into the passing lanes, pick you up full court, trap you, do different things. So they do a good job. I think they're like top 5, top 10 in the league in turning people over. So for us, it's really important that we kind of focused on just being, pass fakes, being solid. I had 4 turnovers, but that was the most tonight. But I think 16 as a team. But I think the biggest thing is being solid. Trying to make the right reads. And I think that's what got us at the end of the game, particularly when they brought it back. Whether it was Royce driving the closeouts, going off 2 feet, making certain plays, making certain reads. They do a good job, getting out there and rotating and Xing out. But I think we did a good job of just continuing to be precise. We slipped up a little bit in the end of the third and beginning of the fourth, but we took care of business.
Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
Along those lines, Donovan, I think you had 4 assists in the first quarter, and they adjusted to you, and you kind of went on your scoring run. You've talked about your passing improving. How have you changed your just ability to read what the defense is doing from when you got into the league to now? And do you notice it right away when you have the ball or when you're running a play, or does it take a few possessions?
I think, the biggest thing for me is just seeing it over and over again for 4 years straight. You look at a guy like Chris Paul, everybody talks about his vision, how he's immaculate in passing, but he's seen it for 17 years. Granted, he's really good, but I think for me, it's just about reps. You can't simulate how to read a blitz in open gym or in your summer workouts. It's just seeing it over and over again. And then the willingness, watching film. I told you before I even got to the bubble, that was my biggest thing I wanted to improve on because I saw spots where guys were open. So now I'm getting to those same spots. And it's not necessarily jacking up a shot. It's okay, maybe not even a pass to a score. It's a pass or a pass to whatever, but just being able to make the simple read and slowing down. I watched film for myself from rookie year, and I'm like, man, the kid had no idea what he's doing sometimes. But I think that's really, just my development, looking on the film, finding where guys are open. And, when you play teams, for 4 years straight, you kind of get a sense of how they're going to guard you. There's not many ways defense can really guard you that I haven't seen before. So now it's about manipulating it and finding guys. And then when you have shooters the way we do, you can throw it up, down, left, right. Guys are hitting shots, so that definitely helps. And then you have Rudy and Fave on the road, which has been phenomenal. So it helps when you have guys like my teammates who encourage me, when I'm going through certain turnover days, but just continue to work on it. And then they make shots. It makes my life easy too.
Kristen Kenny, Just TV.
Don, this is a look ahead because I'm not sure when we're going to get to talk to you guys, but looking ahead to Sunday with the Pacers, 5th in the East, Sabonis and Brogdon. I mean, what just stands out to you about this team? Have you even had much time to even look at film on this team?
Did they win the game? I think they lost on the one of the Pelicans tonight, but they're a steady team, man. Malcolm Brogdon's a hell of a player. Miles Turner's a huge rim presence. Sabonis is, double machine, That'd be an all-star again. I think it's Lamb and Holiday over there. They got a bunch of guys that can go over there. And I think that's the biggest thing. They compete, they fight hard. It's not going to be like, a game where we just come in, we may get up, we may get down, but we just got to continue to be us. They're a really talented team. They can do a lot of good things, but for us, just got to do what we do. And the biggest thing from tonight, that was kind of unacceptable is how we let them back in the game. And as we play teams with this upcoming stretch, we do that. We don't still pull the win out. Because I think that's the biggest thing, is just being able to keep our edge throughout the entire 48 minutes. That's our challenge. It's going to be another challenge on Sunday. We just got to be ready for it.
Steve Reed, AP.
Steve, you're on mute. Steve, sorry.
My bad, Don. I was going to ask your initial impressions of LaMelo. I mean, he had career high 34 points, and first time he played against him, in the league. I just wonder, what were your impressions of his game?
Funny you say that, because I was going to end my press conference talking about it, and he's good. I'm not going to lie. I'm very impressed with just his playmaking ability, his competitiveness, but just his joy. I don't think I've ever seen him not smile throughout the entire game, and I think that's something that I do. It's just enjoying that he's there, that he's here. He's very talented. He can do many different things. I didn't really know what to expect. Him coming from Australia and kind of his route to get here, but he's the real deal, and I'm very impressed with him and how he went about, not just tonight, but how he's been playing. I think he's averaged like 26 over the last 5 games or whatever, but he's the real deal. I'm impressed.
Last question, Nicole from Tab Deportes.
Hi, Donovan from Puerto Rico. This game on the road is almost done. So what is your balance at the moment, and what is your learning to continue the season?
The biggest thing is just finding ways to improve. I think for us as a team, I said it like tonight, we were up 20, and then we kind of gave up that lead. Like, we have to stop doing that. Like, that has to stop. Like I said, with this stretch coming up, we have a tough stretch with our opponents coming from the East. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things. Like, the team we want to be, we're in first, but I think the team that we want to be ultimately, doesn't let the team back into a 9-point game. You take that 20-point lead and we get it to 25, 30. Little things, turnovers, missed blockouts, whatever it is, getting into the play, initiating the offense. Not letting them because when you're down 20, you play loose. Not letting them really dictate. What we do is continue to be that same team for the full 48 minutes, and that's going to be one of our biggest things. Going forward, and just continuing to keep our foot on the gas. And we've done a solid job of it. Tonight was a little bit of a letdown. We won the game and all, but I think we realized what we can improve on, and that's going to be the biggest thing throughout the entire season. Just continuing to take it to that next level. We're doing a good job of it now. We can do even better, and it's going to be the ultimate test for us.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Donovan.
Thank you.